Bienvenidos Bulldogs. Welcome to the 2020-2021 school year here at Mount Vernon High School. I want to welcome you back with the open arms and a smiling face. I know you can't see it, but I'm smiling under this mask. So I have two special guests with me that are going to elaborate a little bit more about what is going on this coming school year. Class of 2021, this is an awesome start for you. Okay, you have never experienced this, and you're going to be able to talk about it, your 10-year reunion, 20-year reunion, until you retire from your career. So, please state your name and occupation.
George Flores, the PE coach here at the high school, a.k.a. G-Flow in the house.
Thank you, Mr. G-Flow in the house. And to my left.
I am Dr. Wadawa, very proud principal of MVHS. Go Dogs!
Okay, so let's start with the biggest question we have. What's the difference between spring 2020 versus fall 2020? And a lot has been going on. We've made some changes to what we require of students. Everyone can't just be doing their own thing. So to answer those questions, what is the biggest difference between spring and fall? I have Mr. G-Flow in the house who's going to elaborate a little bit on what the big changes are. Here you go.
Hello, everybody. All right, I'm going to go with the spring semester first. Some of the things that happened. Obviously, in the spring, we had flexible schedules, teacher check-in on support. We had Chromebooks upon request. We had some review concepts and skills. And one of the big things was grade assessments were really, it wasn't, I'm going to go like this because I think everybody knows it wasn't really the best. But we were new to this. I think moving to the fall now, I think it's very important that we get out to all students and parents that grading is going to be essential. Grading is everything, and daily schedules, attendance is a must. We also know that some of the big things we're going to go with Chromebooks. Chromebooks are going to be checked out to students. If you have brothers and sisters in the same household, they will also receive a Chromebook because it's one-on-one. That's the biggest thing that technology is coming out. Please grab those Chromebooks because it will help you with any kind of classwork you're doing. It will help. Please do that. As far as scheduling goes, we have asynchronous schedule and synchronized schedule, which we will be going later on in this video, so you'll understand what's happening.
Bulldogs, at the end of the day, we want you guys to be safe. And we have some expectations between admin, between teachers. We've all been able to collaborate. We came together. We decided what are the biggest things that we expect from you guys. Number one is that you regularly attend. I'm going to give you the freshman definition. The freshman version of that is show up. You have to make sure that you are logged on to the best of your ability at the given time. Number two is you need to engage with each other, right? It's difficult if you are in a class online and no one is talking than if you were able to at least share some ideas as best as you can. For those of you that were in my Spanish 1 class last year, I want you to picture trying to talk to each other and just trying to get past that awkwardness. Let's get past that awkwardness. Let's break the ice with each other and engage as best as we can. The next part is we have synchronous, which means together. Then we have asynchronous, which means apart. And there'll be two different types of learning. The synchronous learning, which is with your teachers and your peers as you're logged in at the same time. And then the asynchronous is the work that you'll be doing on your own outside of that 50-minute classroom time frame. Is that correct so far, Dr. Wadawa?
Yeah, you got it.
Perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to elaborate before I continue moving on?
Just that we want to make sure that you all are there. Learning is something that we do together, and we miss you when you're not in your synchronous classes, just like we miss you when you're not in your physical classes here on campus.
Perfect. Gracias. The next part, make sure you participate as best as you can. I talked about engaging with each other, engaging with the class to the best of your ability. Make sure you participate. If you have questions, the Zoom connection time is the best that you can do that with your teacher. And if not, there's also the asynchronous time that you can reach out to your teacher. Freshmen, incoming new students, don't be shy. Our teachers here are awesome. I know from experience as a new teacher, they have welcomed me with open arms and they are open to questions, comments, and concerns. He's new too. Don't let him fool you. Okay. As we continue, make sure you check your email. That is the big one, Bulldogs. Check your email. Please say it again.
Check your email.
One more time.
Check your email.
Please check your email. Teachers will always send updates. They'll send information. You'll get updates from other people in your class. You'll get announcements via Google Classroom. So the big habit is not Snapchatting. It's not checking your Instagram. It's making sure that you wake up and check your email. One more time.
Check your email.
One more time.
Check your email.
And last but not least, we're going to talk about time management. Okay, this is not the time to be with your Zoom classmates and Snapchatting at the same time. No one wants to see that you're Snapchatting via Zoom, okay? So please manage your time wisely while you're on, while you have the opportunity to be face-to-face, more or less, with your teacher, and also the time that you have outside of it. Obviously, it's a shortened schedule than normal. It's a shortened day. There's not 5 days to the week this time. So it's really important that you do not procrastinate. As a personal procrastinator myself, it is very important that you use your time management, use timers, use your phones to be courteous of what exactly you have going on. Make sure you set a timer, whatever you prefer, but make sure time management is key to your success this fall. Okay, Bulldogs, here is a word that you probably have never heard, and if you have, kudos to you. It's actually 2 words. Digital citizenship. I'm sure we've all heard the word digital. It's 2020. And the word citizenship, it's also 2020. But the two together, they provide a very specific definition. You're going to hear it very common, like you hear the word asynchronous, like you hear the word synchronous, like you're going to hear the word Zoom. And to elaborate on what that means, I have Dr. Wadawa. So Dr. Wadawa, in your words, could you explain what digital citizenship is here, specifically to our campus and our school?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Serrano. I'd be happy to. So digital citizenship really is how you behave online and using all technical tools. So whether it's in your Zoom class, in your Google Classroom, Snapchat, Instagram, all the other social media applications as well, it's using those tools appropriately. We don't want people to feel bad as a result of the things that we post. We don't want to put information out there that's not true, and we certainly don't want to bully or intimidate anybody. Sometimes it's really hard to know how the impact of your words when you aren't actually looking at the person on the other side that's receiving what you're sending. So we ask of you that your digital citizenship is that you're treating everyone with respect, and you're using those tools for the purpose that they're intended, not to make people feel bad, and to ultimately be responsible when you're learning here in this new form.
Perfect. So, the freshman version of this. Please, no Snapchatting your classroom. Please, no giving codes to students that are not in that classroom. Please do not put any nasty comments in the Zoom chat on the side, or start hacking and what's the word you guys use? Trolling on these comments in the Google Classroom. No one needs to see that. No one needs to scroll down 5 miles just to get the next assignment. Gracias, freshman. On top of that, did I miss anything else? Emma, make sure you wear a shirt on the Zoom call. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We don't want to see you necessarily in something that would not be school appropriate. So even though you're having school at home, treat it like if you were coming to school.
Perfect. What would you wear? Gracias. Okay, Bulldogs, we're back. We're continuing through this PowerPoint. And if you've gotten this far, well, sigamos, let's keep going. So there's a couple do's and don'ts that we have as we continue this school year. And some of them, I'll be honest, if they didn't happen before, we wouldn't have had to write them. But we wrote them because they've happened before. So we're going to just remind you of what some do's and don'ts are. So, Dr. Wadawa, would you like to start with a do? And maybe George has an idea of what a do not is.
Absolutely. Thank you. So, Bulldogs, we ask that you do contribute in your classes and participate fully the entire time.
So is that like, don't copy stuff from the internet, don't cheat off your other classmates?
That means, yeah, don't do those things. Next up, use the resources that you have available to learn, and your teachers, your books, your peers, your friends.
So with these new Chromebooks, can we eat pizza? Can we drop water on them? Well, I don't know.
I think that's a do not, Mr. G-Flow in the house. That's definitely a do not. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that thing.
What's the next one? What do we got going on?
Remember to be positive. So again, we're in school, we're learning together. We want to be positive about the things that are going on. We don't want to be Debbie Downer.
Do we want to be a Debbie Downer?
You know what? So I can't create my own website, like Mount Vernon High School website, and put different things on it.
Maybe like a Mount Vernon High School sucks or something like that. .org.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
No, you can't have a virtual burn book. No.
No virtual burn books. All right. What's the next one that we can do?
So you, again, going back to digital citizenship, think about what you post and how you comment on what your peers have to say. Be positive.
Well, George?
So you're saying I can't bully someone? Well,
Can we bully somebody?
No.
Can we bully your son?
No.
I guess not. Don't bully.
No cyberbullying. Darn it. What's another one, Dr. Wadawa?
So make sure that when you are learning, try to have like a learning space, a quiet environment where you can spend time learning with your peers or working asynchronously, because we don't want you to get distracted.
Perfect.
So go on to websites that are not true and just paste stuff on them? What do you think?
No, don't do that.
Don't do that. Next one. What else do we got, Dr. Wadawa?
So to G-Flow's point, make sure that you're using reliable sources of information. So don't go into the dark web to find the answers to the questions that your teachers are posting. Make sure that you use reliable sources.
Be smart about that.
Can I use Wikipedia?
No.
Absolutely not. Don't do that. Okay, so the biggest lie in America, you may ask, what is that? And the one I've heard is, I have read and accept the terms of agreement. And by that, I mean our student handbook. Remember the one that you all have to sign at the beginning of the school year? All 2,000 of you? Well, if you remember, which I'm sure you read it because you signed it, it talks about our student policy on there, right? And one of the policies is about harassment. Is that correct? And bullying. Is that correct? And we asked earlier if we were able to bully, and the answer was?
No, don't do that. So Bulldogs, here's the thing. There's a state law in Washington that says harassment, intimidation, and bullying is illegal. You can't do that, especially on school grounds. So if you find yourself a victim of harassment, intimidation, and bullying, you need to let a teacher know, a counselor, or most importantly, an administrator. We, by law, have to investigate those things because you, as a student here, have the right to be safe and not feel like you're being hurt because of your political views, because of your race, because of your religion, because of your gender, sexual identity, any of those things. So it's a pretty serious thing, but know that we're here to protect you, and we want to make sure that Mount Vernon is a safe place for everybody to learn. And like we said earlier, don't do those things. Don't bully. Don't be mean. That's not the Bulldog way.
Perfect. Gracias. So again, if you need a little refresher, go ahead and go to your student handbook. Go ahead and look at the harassment and bullying policy, and it's right there. We're not making this up. I promise. Are you making it up? I'm not making it up.
I'm making it up.
Okay, it's right there. So go through, read it. You signed it. Might as well go back and read it. Gracias. Okay, Bulldogs, if you've continued with us, by now you might get the hint that admin here, teachers here, we all want you to be safe. We want you to be secure. We want you to make sure that you feel good in your online learning community. So as we continue, we talked a little bit about bullying, but as we've seen, we're going to continue this year online, right? No one's going to come up and shut your locker. No one's going to come up and grab a freshman into the trash can. None of that's going to happen. Why? Well, we're not here. And if you are, go home, please. So I want to continue on that idea of cyberbullying. If you haven't gotten the hint, we're pretty passionate about that here at Mount Vernon, okay? We're very passionate. We love the idea of making sure that we are safe and secure. So let's talk a little about cyberbullying. George, can you just elaborate? What does that mean? It's another big word for me. What does cyberbullying mean? Can you talk a little bit about that?
First of all, cyberbullying could be, for this year, we're going to be in Zoom meetings. It's taking your Snapchat video and taking it and making fun of a student. And if it's because of what they're wearing or how their house looks like, that's all cyberbullying. And that's what we want to definitely stop. We want to make sure that every student feels comfortable and feels safe, even if it's here or at home, where they're not having to deal or be cyberbullied. But one of the things out there, I want to make sure that everybody understands that there's a phone number that you could call. You could call or text and report it, and guess what? the situation will be taken care of. So the number is 526-8375. That is a number you can call and text, and it will help you with cyberbullying. And cyberbullying could be anything. It could be text. It could be any kind of social media apps. It could be your gaming. If you're playing PlayStation, if I'm beating you on Madden or something, it could be any kind of gaming that, you know, if you kind of make someone feel sad or bad about them, that is cyberbullying, and we do not encourage that here at Mount Vernon High School or throughout the district. We want to make sure everybody has open hearts to be able to come, learn, and succeed here at the school.
Gracias, George. So the freshman translation to that: don't send the Snapchat. Don't send the weird Instagram picture. Don't save anything. Don't screenshot. Keep the comments to yourself. Make it productive, and everything will be a-okay. A freshman will be the greatest 4 years of your life. Again, don't send that Snapchat. Don't screenshot. Don't make the nasty comment. Besides that, everything will be great. Okay, Bulldogs, you've gotten this far, and you know what? I'm just going to cut to the chase. Hate speech. Hate speech. If you've gotten this far, you're looking at a slide that says hate speech. So let me just elaborate a little bit on what hate speech is. It's just a verbal attack. Okay, not a physical attack, a verbal attack. A verbal attack targeting someone because of whom they associate with, or who they associate with, or the group they belong to. So I just want to elaborate right now that I have Dr. Wadawa and Mr. G-Flow in the house next to me about what are some do's and don'ts. As you can see on the screen, we have a good comparison of free speech, which is often confused with hate speech. So, Dr. Wadawa, just overall, hate speech, I gave a little bit of a definition of it. What are some do's and don'ts? What are the expectations as a student I should have with hate speech?
So, expectations that you should have with hate speech is that you're not subjected to it here. You do have the right and you do have the obligation to share your personal opinions. What you don't have the right to do, though, is to make derogatory, slanderous remarks to other people who may have differing opinions than you.
So it's okay for me to say my point of view or explain my point of view. Is that correct?
Absolutely, and we want you to do that. Your social studies classes, you'll have opportunities to do that in a number of different ways. There'll be topics that come up in your science classes about global warming. You're going to have lots of discussions, I would imagine, in your math class related to business world, as well as maybe some medical data that you're going through. There's going to be a ton of opportunities for you to talk about these really important things, but you can't. You have to have a civil discourse about it. You can't just start picking at people because they have a different opinion, or you read something on Facebook that says all of that is a lie.
And I want to make a quick interjection. There was a beautiful word, especially for the freshmen: civil discourse. Dun, dun, dun. Civil discourse. Can you just give a quick freshman definition of civil discourse?
Sure. So civil discourse means that you and I can have a conversation and we can share our opinions, but it doesn't degrade into me calling you names or saying bad things about you or making assumptions or making threats even. So it really is this opportunity to exchange ideas, but not tear people apart because of the ideas.
So you're telling me if for instance, if I'm Biden or Trump, I'm a Trump person, that someone comes and attacks me because that they're going to vote for Biden or any kind of political reason?
No, they can't do that because you have the right to have your political opinions. Again, I just don't have the right to tell you that you're stupid because you don't happen to agree with what I'm saying.
So if I say I like enchiladas better than tacos de asada, or if I say pupusas are the best Latin American food, then you can't make fun of me for that, correct?
Absolutely not. And everybody knows that tacos al pastor is the one we want to go with.
I don't know about that one. Okay, anyways, hate speech. Please, at the end of the day, freshmen, be courteous about what you say. Do not feel shy about your points of view. Just make sure to explain yourself, give your point of view with an open mind, and be courteous to others that are listening. That's all it is.
I have one last thing also. And if you feel of any of these that might be happening to you, remember, reach out to the phone number that I've actually set out and text or call. And Trust me, we will hear this. Admin will get it.
They will get it. Gracias. And I believe this concludes the end of our PowerPoint. So here's a good Go Dogs from Dr. Wadwa.
Go Dogs!
And Mr. G-Flow in the house.
Bulldogs in the house. Woo!
Ciao.